Guys, first shakedown ride on the 2019 200RR. Turn the gas on, dummy.
Hi guys, these are the very first miles I'm putting on my new 200RR. As you can see, I'm going to be riding pretty easy, just a break in the motor, and because I'm riding alone and also recovering from a lower back injury. So the reason I'm sharing this video of my pathetically slow riding is for the guys that want to know how is the bottom end torque on the 200. Before I got her, the only videos I could find were either fast-paced, on-the-pipe racing footage, or guys riding them at the beta demo days, which are not exactly the tight technical terrain that I like to ride. That demonstrates how the bottom end really is. I did a lot of forum research before deciding to pull the trigger on the 200. There were only a couple videos demonstrating what I wanted to see. Specifically, the videos and comments from MX Engineer and Baseman swayed me the most. So here we see I'm on some of my wider trail, and I'm going to make my way into some technical single track with some good hill climbs, and I'm going to purposely stop at the bottom of them from a dead stop and see how she lugs. If you can put up with this long video, you'll get to see it. So I should add that I'm coming off a 17 Husqvarna TX300 with an arcade tech head. The thing was really a torque monster and really a great bike. I had no complaints with it. I just wanted to try a 200 again. So something that became apparent to me right away was how lazy the 300 bikes had let me become. I could always be a gear high and it didn't matter. With 200 at least in the configuration it's in now, which is basically bone stock off the showroom floor with 1549 gearing. You have to be in the correct gear if you're going to hit a hill. I'm probably going to drop the countershaft to at least to a 14 for my type of terrain. I can see why a lot of guys will keep the 15 if they're in more open terrain.
Feels pretty damn good. Light, flickable. Power's not bad. I got to get used to it coming from the 300. There's a nice, pretty steep hill coming up. I'm going to try and lug the crap out of it. Try it in second gear. No problem, no problem. Down into the Screw You hill. In first gear, we'll just lug it. Look at that baby lug! Yeah! And this is with the 15-tooth countershaft. Light, really, really light and flickable. Really good. Plenty of power. Just a little different. different than the 300, but plenty good for these trails. Good snap.
So just a little history on me. I'm 50 years old. I've been riding since my late 20s, and I don't do any racing, just hard technical trail riding. I've had a lot of bikes through the years, many KTMs of all sizes, 200s, 250s, 300s, 400 4-strokes, some Honda CRF 250 and 450Xs, and 2 previous Beta 300 RRs right before my Husky TX 300. And out of all those bikes, most of which are really good machines, the one that still stands out in my mind as my favorite technical single-track bike was my 2004 KTM 200 EXC. The early KTMs were really well suited for technical riding with power and torque approaching 250 levels, with light and flickable feeling and a smaller 125 chassis. It was a real winner. Over the years, KTM changed the motor characteristics from a low-end lug machine to more of a mid-top end motor. And then in 2008, they put it in a full-size frame, which really ruined the appeal of the 200 to me. At that point, why not just go for a 250 or a 300 if it's in the same size frame and weight? In 2016, KTM completely abandoned the 200 platform. In 2017, it wasn't even available. 2016 was the last year. And even though the bike had changed considerably from the early years, people still loved it.
Next up, Mousetrap.
When I heard that Beta was going to release a 200 for 2019, I was really excited to see if it was going to pick up where KTM left off back in the early days when the 200 was still good in my eyes.
For what it's worth, the handlebars are in a really far back position, so I feel really cramped right now. The brake lever's a little bit high for me. For what it's worth, I haven't touched the clicker on this thing, set the sag, nothing. And I'm about 230 pounds in gear, so I know I'm sacking out the springs. Running second gear most of the time in this stuff. I think a 14 tooth would let me run third a little more. down there. Yeah, that's right. Dead stop on a pretty steep hill. Yeah, pulls it no problem. Getting kicked by the back a little bit. But again, I haven't adjusted a thing on this yet. Second gear, pulls the hills just fine. Thing is so light and flickable. Night and day difference from my TX. And that's not saying the TX was bad. Do need to adjust these bars some because I feel cramped. Coming into the Mousetrap. Good hill for a test. Damn, I think I missed the Mousetrap. Maybe not. No, I didn't. Going into the Mousetrap. What I didn't realize here was my skid plate sticks up very high next to the shifter. I thought I was in first, I was actually in second, that's why I kept stalling it. So I'm going to have to move that skid plate flap in a little bit. Easy to do, it's plastic, I'll just hit it with a heat gun. This is the tricky spot. Probably doesn't look tricky on the camera. Gotta get used to her here. I was in second, maybe. So here we are in Mousetrap. This hill is pretty steep and there's no run up. I'm at the bottom of it. I'm going to try and crawl up it first and see if I can get her going. The baby lugs. No problem. Probably could have done it in second. Get neutral. It's what the side-by-sides do to a trail.
So what do I think of the bike after my first short ride? Well, quite frankly, I love it. For my terrain, I'm going to gear down the counter shaft at least to a 14, possibly even a 13, but that seems kind of drastic. Maybe play with the power valve adjuster a bit, and that's it. I think Beta's really hit the mark with this 200, and there's going to be a huge following. KTM left a huge 200 fan club waiting in limbo. The 150 just didn't do it.
I think it was MX Engineer who said, "Smiles for miles," and I can see it. Bike is light, flickable. Suspension feels a little harsh here and there, but again, I'm way too heavy for it. I do have KYBs I can throw in if I want. Snap. Totally stock jetting.
So I've read in the forums that some people think that this might be the perfect bike for the beginner or for their wife, and I do feel that just about anybody can ride this bike. It is better suited for someone with some experience or anyone that likes to ride technical trail. That's not to say it doesn't rip if you grab a handful, because it does. It'll happily do either. Still, I think new riders would be better suited for the cross trainer. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos about the 200RR, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.